The image of Dracula, the brutal and bloodthirsty count, is ingrained in our collective imagination. But what if I told you that Vlad the Impaler, the man behind this iconic image, had a much more sinister side that history books have failed to reveal? Join me on a journey as we peel back the layers of Vlad the Impaler's personality, exposing the dark truth behind his infamous deeds. This is Vlad the Impaler, a tale of unimaginable cruelty. We are in 1476, and medieval Europe is in turmoil. Rumors spread across the continent like wildfire, whispers of a nobleman so cruel he dipped his bread in blood, a man whose feasts included roasted rats and dogs, and who dipped his meat in the blood of young virgins. The subject of these chilling rumors is Vlad the Impaler, a name that strikes fear into the hearts of many. But Vlad's story is not just about blood and brutality. It is a tale of ambition, betrayal, and survival, in a world where power meant everything and mercy meant nothing. To understand the darkness that shrouded Vlad, we must first look at the world he grew up in. Born on December 3rd, 1431, Vlad's early life was a mystery, until historians stumbled upon a record mentioning his baptism. On that day, a small church in Sighisoara, a medieval town nestled in the heart of Transylvania, recorded the birth of a son to Vlad and his wife. A marriage arranged by their fathers, both powerful nobles in Wallachia. Vlad's father held the title of Prince of the Romanian Kingdom of Wallachia, while his mother was the daughter of a powerful Hungarian noble. With such influential connections, Vlad's childhood was far from ordinary. He was educated alongside his cousin, King Matthias Corvinus of Hungary, preparing him for a life of privilege and power. However, Vlad's fate would take a brutal turn when his father was murdered. Thrust into the tumultuous world of medieval politics, Vlad found himself entangled in a power struggle that pitted him against his own brother. Amidst the chaos, Vlad sought refuge in Hungary, where his mother's family offered him protection. Here, Vlad was exposed to the teachings of the Brethren of the Common Life, a Christian humanist movement that emphasized education and piety. Despite this influence, Vlad's true nature began to emerge, revealing a penchant for violence and cruelty that shocked even his closest allies. Stories started circulating about his sadistic behavior, including torturing prisoners, forcing them to watch as their loved ones were killed, and even roasting his enemies alive. As these disturbing tales spread, people began to view Vlad with suspicion and fear. But it was his alleged dip of bread and blood that truly cemented his reputation as a monster. While the origins of this gruesome story remain unclear, it perfectly captured the essence of the brutality that many believed Vlad embodied. After years in exile, Vlad returned to Wallachia and took the throne with ambitions to expand his power. But it was during this time that the whispers of his blood-soaked deeds reached a fever pitch. Accusations from Vlad's enemies claimed that he had dipped his bread in the blood of Christian prisoners, an act seen as blasphemous and heretical. Adding fuel to the fire, Vlad's opponents accused him of participating in a satanic ritual where he cut off the heads of Christian captives and then proceeded to dip the severed heads in blood. These horrific allegations were not made in a vacuum. Instead, they were part of a deliberate campaign to tarnish Vlad's reputation and undermine his authority. His enemies, driven by a lust for power, used these shocking claims as weapons to paint Vlad as a monster, hoping to turn the populace against him. Yet Vlad was not one to back down in the face of adversity. With a cunning mind and a thirst for power, he fought back against his accusers, accusing them of fabricating these stories to destabilize his reign. Amidst this chaos, Vlad found support in the most unexpected of places, the Ottoman Empire. Seeking to counter the influence of his rivals, Vlad formed an alliance with the Ottomans, agreeing to convert to Islam and change his name to Abdul Hamid. This decision sent shockwaves throughout Europe, where news of Vlad's supposed conversion spread like wildfire. Some saw this as a sign of weakness, while others questioned Vlad's sanity. They wondered if the stress of ruling had driven him to seek solace in another faith. What they didn't know was that this was a strategic move, a calculated risk to secure Vlad's position as ruler. By embracing Islam, he gained the backing of a powerful empire that could protect him from his enemies. And indeed, the Ottoman alliance brought Vlad a measure of security, allowing him to focus on solidifying his rule. Yet the accusations of blood drinking and cannibalism did not cease. In fact, they intensified. The claim that he dipped his bread in the blood of young girls became a prominent accusation, further cementing his image as a ruthless and heartless ruler. Amidst this growing unease, merchants and traders began avoiding Vlad's territory, fearing they might inadvertently partake in his horrifying rituals. As trade declined and people's livelihoods suffered, the whispers about Vlad turned into roars. The people of Sighisoara, once proud of their prince, now saw him as a monster among men. They recalled the disturbing stories from his childhood, the rumors of animal skins on his bed, and the sight of servants fleeing his castle in terror. Their unease transformed into full-blown horror, making Vlad's return to Sighisoara a daunting prospect. When Vlad finally did return, he found a city on the brink of collapse. The economy was in shambles. Law and order had broken down, and the people were on the edge of despair. Vlad was faced with a daunting task, restoring peace and prosperity to his homeland. Yet amidst this crisis, the accusations against him only grew louder. Rumors swirled that he had committed unspeakable acts, dipping his bread in the blood of Christian children and smearing blood on the walls of his castle. Some even went as far as to claim that Vlad hosted orgies with gypsies, indulging in debauchery and revelry. These stories, whether true or exaggerated, painted a grim picture of the state of Sighisoara under Vlad's rule. As the story spread, people began to lose faith in Vlad's ability to lead. Questions arose about how someone with such disturbing tendencies could be trusted to govern. Many started to question his sanity, wondering if he was fit to rule at all. But despite the mounting pressure, Vlad refused to back down, continued to assert his authority, determined to maintain control over his homeland. Yet the toll of these accusations was evident. Vlad's mental and physical health began to deteriorate. He grew increasingly paranoid, suspicious of everyone around him. The weight of the rumors and the constant fear of losing power took a heavy toll, pushing him to the edge of exhaustion and despair. Years passed, and the situation in Sighisoara slowly began to improve. Vlad's efforts to restore order and stability bore fruit. The economy recovered, trade routes reopened, and the people's spirits lifted. But then came the year 1476. Once again, rumors engulfed the city, reaching a crescendo that shook Sighisoara to its core. The whispers spoke of a terrifying feast hosted by Vlad, a feast that included roasted dogs and cats. The mere mention of such an event sent shivers down people's spines. It seemed as though Vlad's reputation for cruelty and depravity was only growing. In the midst of this turmoil, Vlad made a fateful decision. He summoned a group of local nobles to discuss the alarming rumors and their impact on the city. Little did he know that this gathering would become infamous for the darkest chapter of his life. During the meeting, Vlad allegedly dipped his bread in blood and smeared blood on the walls of the room. The very sight of this grotesque display sent shockwaves among the nobles. Fear and revulsion etched on their faces as they witnessed this disturbing spectacle. Vlad's actions, whether as a show of power, insanity, or a twisted sense of amusement, left an indelible mark on those present. The nobles, shaken to their core, fled the meeting in terror, eager to escape the haunting image of their ruler's bloody feast. In the aftermath of this disturbing incident, Vlad found himself increasingly isolated. Even his closest allies began to distance themselves from him, fearful of being associated with his monstrous actions. The rumors surrounding him grew, casting a dark cloud over his reign. It seemed as though the people of Sighisoara had lost all hope in their leader. As the whispers intensified, so did the paranoia within Vlad. He grew more detached, suspicious of everyone around him. The fear of betrayal and the isolation it brought gnawed at him, turning him into a recluse within his own castle walls. The joy and hope he had once brought to the city were replaced by fear and uncertainty. And so the legacy of Vlad the Impaler, the man who dipped his bread in blood, remained a chilling reminder of the depths of human cruelty. His story serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of compassion and leadership. As we delve deeper into the annals of history, let us remember Vlad not just as a symbol of darkness, but as a reflection of the complexities of human nature. For in the end, it is our choices that define us, whether we choose to embrace the light or succumb to the shadows. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Your support means everything to me. Also, I invite you to subscribe so you never miss out on any of my thrilling historical tales. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world of history.